I'm going to share with you my most anticipated films for 2024. One of the best things that I do for myself is I make a list of the movies that are to come out that year. No matter how bad life seems to feel sometimes, this is one of the things that just cheers me up. When I can see a certain film coming over the horizon, it just brightens my day, and then I look forward to this time of going to the theater to see that movie. I'm also going to share with you that full list of all the movies that I would like to see this year, not just including the ones that are my most anticipated. You can grab yourself a screenshot of that, and then you can make that as part of your list for the year too. You can check them out to see what other movies are on the horizon, not just my most anticipated ones. So stay tuned. Closer to the end, I will reveal that for you. And now let's get to this list, which is in no particular order of my favorites. They are in order of their release date. Now, coming up in February is the movie Argylle, directed by Matthew Vaughn. I love Matthew Vaughn when he's at his best. I love The Kingsman a lot, and I also love the movie Kick-Ass, and there's a couple of other films that I do admire, and something you can anticipate every single film that he has is the energy and color that he brings to the scene. They are mixed in with a little bit of action along with some humor. I get stimulated from the films that he puts, and that I think is what I like the most about him. So I always put my money down on a film that comes up with him. We have a film here with Henry Cavill alongside with Bryce Dallas Howard, in which this is a film in which she is a writer and she's writing about espionage and secret agents that happens to be coming true. Is it just something that she is, got some sort of telepathy and she's just, lucky that she's writing a film that's actually happening in the world of espionage? Or is it that she is somehow actually creating these events that are happening in real life? So it's a very interesting premise. I'm excited to know what it's about, but one thing I am anticipating is to seeing Henry Cavill in this role, and I think it's going to be a good time. Now, coming up in March is Dune 2. Dune 2 was supposed to come out in November of 2023. It was on my list for that year's most anticipated film of the year. And, well, it had to get pushed because of some writer's strike. It's just a couple of months away, and we get a chance to see this beautiful spectacle on screen. I hear that the second one is where all the action is going to play out. And so I am really excited for some really cool sci-fi action coming up in Dune 2. Also upcoming is Kung Fu Panda 4. I didn't really think that we needed another Kung Fu Panda, but considering that I wasn't a big fan of number 2, that a number 4th will give me a nice trilogy in my mind at the very least. I love Kung Fu Panda. I love the characters. I love the idea. I love the humor. I love the style. There's a lot to like about it. In fact, Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite family franchises to ever hit the films. And so, hey, you want to give me a 4th one? Let's have a good time. I can't wait. Kung Fu Panda. April, we have another big blockbuster. This is when the big blockbusters tend to come out. It used to be that the blockbusters started in June, but no, they've been starting in April. Ever since the Marvel movies have come out, they decided to throw in some pretty big bangers right at the beginning of the year. So in April, we have Godzilla vs. Kong. Actually, it's Godzilla X Kong, because my understanding is that these two are going to team up against a rivalry happening in the center of the earth. I was really excited for the first time we saw these two monsters clash on screen. However, I was very disappointed in the storyline. Did I get excited about the action and seeing these guys throw down? Yes, I did. But here I find that the franchise has gone in a direction that is a lot more of a spectacle, is a lot more of a kid's action movie, and good for them. My son loves that franchise a lot, and he can't wait for this movie to come. So for that reason, there's no doubt what we're going to be seeing in the theater. We're going to have a lot of popcorn to enjoy this battle, and I just hope that it's a little bit better written than the first film. And you know what? Whatever happens with this one, it's going to be a big movie on screen. Upcoming in May is a film that I got excited through the trailers, and that is Fall Guy. It's starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. And when I first saw the trailer, I got excited. I didn't have it as my most anticipated film until I saw the trailer again, and then again and again. And I just found myself remembering, hey, what about that movie? You want to see that movie, Fall Guy? And it was always on the tip of my pen when I was writing this down as for my list. And I actually had it lower, and I said to myself, you know what? There's no way that I'm going to miss this. It just looks too exciting. It looks fun. And fun is the main reason why I, in particular, go to a movie theater. There's all kinds of reasons to see a movie, whether it's well written, it looks like a great story, it looks well made. But when I see that something is going to be fun, you better believe that's where I'm going to put my money, because I just want to be entertained in the end. And if I walk out of the film with a huge smile on my face and I am entertained, then I know that it was well worth going to see in the theater. And so I believe I have my money on Fall Guy. So coming out at the end of May is Furiosa. This is a spin-off from a great film that came out a couple years ago, Mad Max Fury Road by George Miller. And it just played along like an easy movie that you can sing to. There was nothing complicated about the story. One of the great things to come out of that film was the characters, and Furiosa was at the forefront and one of the most interesting characters that had been put on. All they have to do is just stick with the same recipe that they did for the first film. Just give us a simple premise, show us some cool visuals, show us some cool action scenes. Nothing complicated is needed in this film for them to entertain me. And so easy money. I think we can be entertained. This is a no-brainer. We're going to check out Furiosa. Now, despite that there are some movies out in June, there is nothing in there that is a must-see for me until July. And finally, my most anticipated film for 2024 is Deadpool 3. That is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I know that, people look at me and they say, Rob, you're all calm and zen and you have this way of looking at life in a positive way. How in the world does Deadpool intrigue you? Where do you get the excitement to watch Deadpool, who has a bit of a filthy mouth? There's some charisma in there and there's some genius comedy at the same time. Whenever Deadpool comes up on the screen, you kind of get excited, even if he's inappropriate. So I am looking forward to this one because, again, all they have to do is stick with the same formula as what they did before, and you got a great trilogy, 1, 2, and then 3 with a banger. And here we have a bit of a rivalry with his own friend in real life, Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine, and they've been bouncing off each other on social media for a number of years, and now they've collided. They're collaborating to get a film here. So Deadpool is going to meet Wolverine, and I have no idea what the story is, but it doesn't really matter. We know they're going to have a good time. It just makes sense that this is going to be a blast. And so here we are. Get yourselves ready for Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3, again, is another winner and most anticipated film of the year. Can't wait. So just a couple more to go on the list, and here we are in September. We have another surprise, Beetlejuice 2. Yes, it's a sequel. That means we have the original cast members coming back to play the parts. Michael Keaton, who is one of the best things in a lot of films, like he is one of the best Batmans out there. And I never believed that when I was younger because he's not strong and tough. He's a skinny guy in real life. And what the heck is he doing playing Batman? But 1, he did a great job. And 2, he did an amazing job with Beetlejuice. It's really hard to think of anybody else playing the character other than him. And so he gets to reprise the role again, coming back. And I have no idea what the movie's about, so I can't give you a bit of a synopsis of what's to come, except for, get ready, hopefully they do it right. They don't have to do very much in order to succeed in this film either. All they have to do is stick with a few of the basics, stick with the same flavor. Look, Beetlejuice is a bit of a jerk, but yet he's also a great comedy relief. He's the star of the show, and all he has to do is shine. It's right at the beginning of the Halloween season, so all they have to do is get a few of these things right, and who knows, you're probably going to get a lot of people who want to be Beetlejuice in the Halloween season. Hopefully. They do so. Now we jump all the way into November for my son's most anticipated film, Halo. My son loves Venom. I liked Venom 1. I didn't like number 2. He likes both, but he's really excited for number 3. I like it when Venom is kind of a fish out of water, where he doesn't know the environment, and yet Tom Hardy's character is there. Eddie Brock, by the way, he's there to make sure that Venom is in line and doesn't step out of line. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. We have a while to wait, so I'm not going to think about it for a little while, but I know that my son, he's probably going to be excited for the entire year, at least 11 months until we get to that date. Also coming out at the end of November is another movie that I had no idea they were even thinking of making, and that is Gladiator 2. Gladiator is one of my favorite films of all time. So we'll just have to wait and see as the time comes what kind of feel this is, what kind of story that they have to present to us. And so again, we have to wait a while, but that's okay. We have all these other films that I just mentioned to fill into the time. So you see how this works? I get excited just knowing that this film is coming at some point in this year. Now, it's going to take to the end of the year before I get a chance to see it, but just knowing that it's on the horizon, that there's a possibility that this is the best film of the entire year, that I'm going to love it, maybe like I loved the first one or even more, gets me excited, so that no matter how bad life gets, just knowing that that's coming, brightens my day, and it gets me excited about life. So with that, I'm going to be patient all year, and knowing that there is a chance that one of the greatest films of the year is waiting for me at the end of November. And finally, we have another third film to a franchise that my son loves a lot, and that's Sonic the Hedgehog 3. These movies, again, have a bit of a formula where there is some action and some comedy, and the first one I found to be very original, and the characters were really likable. All right, so as promised is the graphic of all the films that I really want to see this year. So there's more than just my most anticipated ones. There's a variety of others. And to keep in mind that there are still some films that I may have not even heard about yet that are to come. It happens every single year. I literally print this graphic and I put it on my wall, and I have one at work. I like to share it with people to get people engaged in talking about films. And so feel free to do a screen grab for yourself. I know that it may not be your most anticipated films of the year, but maybe you'll get a sense of what's to come, and it'll help you remember of what is on the horizon. Again, preparing yourself for your budget and what movies you are going to be spending your money on, because it can be really expensive to go out, even for just one person. And if you're bringing a family or you're bringing a date, it could add up. Everything about this channel has improved since I first started 1 year ago. Everything from the aesthetics to the delivery and to the editing, all that stuff is a lot better. And I want to thank you for putting your time to spend with me while I have been on that journey. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. So that's it for this video. And as you can see, I don't just enjoy life, enjoy film. Film is related to enjoying life. And so please do so as I do so, and take care. And I wish you well.